Hong Kong's business advantages will be high on the agenda at an annual conference to be held in Los Angeles on March 28th and 29th. The 2011 Asia-Pacific Business Outlook Conference will be hosted by the University of Southern California's Marshall School of Business. This year's keynote speaker is U.S. Secretary of Commerce Gary Locke, who will be supported by speakers from a wide range of industries across the Asia-Pacific. Among those will be representatives from the Hong Kong Trade Development Council and Invest Hong Kong. And a special Hong Kong Outlook and Workshop will be presented by Elizabeth Thompson of ICS Trust in Hong Kong and Andrew Wailagala with the U.S. Commercial Service Office in Hong Kong, who spoke to us about what's in store at the upcoming event.
APBO, or the Asia Pacific Business Outlook, is really the premier event for business professionals who are looking to explore trade and investment opportunities throughout Asia. What's so exciting about this conference and makes it so attractive for U.S. companies to participate is that with a single visit and a very concentrated 2.5-day program, they're able to bring themselves up to speed on 14 different markets throughout Asia. And particularly for a small, medium-sized enterprise, if they wanted to do that by visiting these countries individually, of course, that would be tens of thousands of dollars and an awful lot of time out of the office.
Well, what aspects of this event are connected to Hong Kong business?
Everyone is anxious to take advantage of the growth that's out in Asia Pacific. The IMF has estimated that in 2011, the developing Asian markets will grow at a rate of 8.4%. And that's not lost on the folks back in the States, of course, where markets are growing considerably slower and slower in Europe and other traditional markets. Hong Kong is being appreciated in particular for its tremendous strengths to this group of companies looking to get more involved in Asia. But I would say even more important is the recognition of the role that Hong Kong has historically played, but is playing in new ways as a gateway into mainland China, which is an exciting engine of growth for the region, but also the wider Asia-Pacific market. And of course, just like going to the Marshall School at USC for this annual conference allows them to touch many markets, if they come to Hong Kong, particularly if they take advantage of one of the excellent trade shows, be it a TDC show or another organized trade show, they can scores, if not more markets at once. Hong Kong is highly relevant. This year it will be particularly relevant. We've recently celebrated the Pacific Bridge Initiative, which is an important way to bring more attention to how Hong Kong can be leveraged, and that's reflected at a higher participation in this year's APBOC.
Why should the firms that are based in Southern California or elsewhere in the U.S. be interested in attending this event?
With a single stop and a concentrated effort over a couple of days, they're able to fully educate themselves, take advantage of wonderful networking opportunities that are set up through hosted events at this conference. The one-on-one counseling is a big part of what makes APBOC special. So the senior commercial officers who are based in the 14 markets in Asia have all committed to attending the conference. Not only will they offer an outlook overview of their markets and a specific workshop that delves into green business and some other opportunities. In addition to that, they are already collecting information and studying questions from these U.S. registrants who are interested in exploring one or more markets. So we're preparing our answers already in advance.
Well, what's a good place for U.S. companies to go to learn more about what opportunities Hong Kong has?
We always direct folks to our series of buyusa.gov websites, and by dialing one of those addresses and simply putting a slash and the country or market of interest next to it, you will get plugged into our entire network of professionals and see what services we offer. We're tremendous fans of what the Council, TDC, offers in terms of web-based resources. And again, a big tenet of the Pacific Bridge Initiative is to cross-link and make use of each other's platform in a more effective way.
Could you tell us a bit more about the initiatives that are adding energy to this effort?
A good place to start is, again, with the PBI, the Pacific Bridge Initiative, which has given impetus and I'd say a higher visibility to activities that have already been moving along in terms of trade development and partnering. One of the great examples is in the environmental area, where our activities were given a great jump start by a large clean energy mission that the Secretary of Commerce of the United States, Gary Locke, led to Hong Kong and then onward to mainland China in May of 2010. Other sectors that are doing nicely for us and creative, we're very much looking forward to the Film Mart next month. And what's particularly exciting there is that this will be the first time that the U.S. is actually mounting a pavilion within the show. We've been present for years, but we've not quite had the profile and the organization that we will this year. Co-production is one of the areas that is particularly bright. Licensing of U.S. content continues to be very important. Of course, the hardware and the technology that goes into it. And film finance is an important area for us where I think we can do a lot more with partners from Hong Kong. So that aerospace is also represented in a very important trade show that's coming up even earlier for us in just a few weeks. We will have a large contingent, about 40 U.S. firms exhibiting. And that offers a whole wealth of opportunities too.
And finally, what would you say if you were talking directly to companies who are interested in exploring opportunities in the Asia Pacific and in Hong Kong?
It's a mystery to nobody that growth is happening in Asia Pacific. I think a reappreciation for the value that Hong Kong offers as a particularly accessible and attractive place for firms of all ilk, but especially small and medium-sized firms with less resources to devote to international activity to come here. So you've got the right timing and the right context, the right environment in Hong Kong, and finally the right partners here, groups such as our chamber friends and the Hong Kong Trade Development Council.